What's going on, guys? So today's topic is a short style video. It is not one of my long forms, but I want to get into this because we have another video coming up. I did receive some more fan mail in my P.O. box, so I'm really excited to rip that open along with our Mystery Mail Day number 74. But what I wanted to talk about in this video is the PokeMania over? Is it over? Is the market gonna settle out a little bit? Are people kind of is it just going to be cyclical? Like, are people going to come in, the hobby's hype, then the hobby kind of sizzles out a little bit as we come into a new era. Maybe the era isn't as good. Maybe people just aren't as hype about the era. Maybe they're unfamiliar with the Pokemon on the front of the Scarlet Violet box for this upcoming era. We don't know how people's opinions are going to be. I've seen a lot of videos just popped up just based on the thumbnails that it seems like, and this is a wild guess, but it seems like the Pokemon community may be, 50-50. There's people that, like myself, don't know what to expect with Scarlet and Violet. I'm sure it'll be good, but that's just blindly following Pokemon. And then there's people who are super hype about Scarlet and Violet, absolutely can't wait to be at the beginning of a new era. And I want to talk about that a little bit. First and foremost, if you don't have a lot of time, let me just say my opinion. I don't think the Pokemon market is going anywhere. I don't think the Pokemon Mania has even remotely ended. PokeMania was a coined term in the 90s, in the late 90s, as Pokemon hit North America, and all these news stations were going crazy. These Pokemon cards are taking over your kids, and, there's monsters, and, yada, yada, yada. I feel like it was stronger with people against Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! But I know that was Pokemon as well in the case. I know some of my friends weren't even allowed to have trading cards, Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Specifically. But I think that it had a strong start. It has an extremely strong media franchise, and I talked about that in the video prior to this one, the history of Pokemon. I don't think it's going anywhere. What I do think happened was COVID. You had the pandemic, you had people in their house, you had the stimulus money, you had all these factors. Influencers are at home doing nothing, have nothing better to do than to make videos and stream. For some of us, this becomes a lifestyle and a passion, and for some of us, it was just something to hop on the bandwagon for. And I totally get that. Fads are cyclical, things come and go. We get waves of Pokemon hype, and then Pokemon will probably sizzle out for a little bit. Before I get more into that, if you guys are wondering, hey bro, what happened to your workout routine? I was just beat, and honestly, the gym opened late Saturday and Sunday, so I pretty much just decided, I think I went Saturday. Yeah, I went Saturday, but Sunday it was late, so I just decided not to go. And then I decided, you know what? My 5 a.m. routine, I'm going to keep trying. Tomorrow, I'm going to try and get up at 5 a.m. again and hit the gym hard. My gains are not going to go anywhere in 2 days. I kind of listened to what a couple people were saying, and I decided to take some rest days. That was really best for me and my mental health. I needed the rest just to recharge. But anyways, kind of irrelevant to this video, but at the same time, relevant to the channel. People are following my routines. You're following my progress, seeing if I'm keeping up with it. The whole point I document me and going to the gym again and trying to get up at 5 in the morning is to eventually be able to report back on that documentation and have YouTube hold me accountable and say, look, I did this for 30 days. I took some breaks in between. It wasn't perfect. Maybe I can improve on that and get 30 days straight the next time. But I'm realizing, like every lifestyle change, you can't just flip a switch like that. Same thing with Pokemon, same thing with YouTube. It starts as kind of a fun side hobby thing, and then you're more interested in making videos, and then it becomes more of your routine, and you kind of need it to establish that scheduled routine, and a healthy routine. But more on Pokemon. Okay, so Crown Zenith came out. What are my thoughts on Crown Zenith? I thought Crown Zenith was kind of going to be hype. Crown Zenith was not hype. Crown Zenith was absolutely stellar. It was really a great set. I underestimated how much I was going to like the Suicune. I've talked about that several times in videos. For me, I already got the most cards I wanted. Honestly, within the first pack, I got this Deoxys Galarian Gallery, which is honestly probably one of my favorite Deoxys cards. I really like the battle style Deoxys that's flying and soaring through the air. I also got my Radiant Charizard, which is pretty cool just to be able to pull a Charizard out of a set. That's pretty neat. And then I ordered in my Suicune and Entei, and my Raikou will probably be in the mail day video. I don't know. So I'm excited to see the centering and the condition on that card. But those are the only cards I really wanted. Deoxys, Legendary Dogs, Charizard, Radiant, everything else. I think there's an Absol Galarian Gallery. I really want that Absol, but pretty much I'm not going to go crazy about it. It's not something that I have to have. Now being back in the hobby after over a decade and then coming back into it and only being into it for a couple of years, I've seen so much stuff pop up on the secondary market. I've seen really, really good deals. I think maybe even though Crown Zenith was sold out really quickly, I think that there will be a surplus and people will be putting that surplus up on the secondary market very soon. And if the market treads lower just slightly, people are going to be letting that stuff go, and you'll be able to get your Crown Zenith ETBs for around retail. I'm hoping that's the case. Right now I have 4, 8, I think I have 12 or 11 Crown Zenith ETBs, and then I have the 2 Reggie boxes. Those are for my personal collection. But yeah, that's where I'm at with Crown Zenith. But it's a fantastic set, and I think a lot of people during the pandemic and with the stimulus money, everyone was pouring it in Pokemon cards. People were doing well in the stock market before the pandemic and during the pandemic. And they're putting that money into, maybe crypto, but maybe also alternate forms of investing. And that manifested itself into collectibles, in my opinion. And Pokemon is now, more than ever, in my opinion, taken to be a serious asset, a long-term hold asset. And that's how I look at it. I don't look at it as, I'm going to get rich really quick off of Pokemon. I got to have the best of the best stuff. One, I love Pokemon, and I love Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't collect enough Yu-Gi-Oh! I really need to give Yu-Gi-Oh! More of an investment, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Could pop off too. It kind of is, but and there's more on that. They're releasing a 25th anniversary Yu-Gi-Oh! Set that looks phenomenal. So a couple influencers away from Yu-Gi-Oh! Absolutely exploding, in my opinion. If Logan Paul had a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a BGS 10 Blue Eyes White Dragon and Crested with Diamonds, I can almost guarantee you that Yu-Gi-Oh! Would have become a more socially acceptable thing, just as Pokemon has. But anyways, getting off topic again, super ADD, my apologies. Pokemon and where it's going, is the PokeMania over? I don't see it being over. One of my indicators is the Charizard First Edition. I love having that card. I know how much it took to get that card, invest in it, and watch the bids for about 2 years until I finally snagged one for a super reasonable price. Albeit, if the market is starting to go down now, maybe I overpaid on my Charizard. If you haven't followed the Discord, check out the Discord. It's linked below. In the Discord, we talk about values on cards, deals on cards, scams. We have a bunch of different channels in the Discord. And would love to get more people in there for more topic discussions, more cards, more showing, just whatever. We'll show deals and I'll show prices. And I put a first edition Charizard in the Discord that someone was trying to sell, and they set the reserve price at 6,000. And I was like, honestly, I think this card is worth 3,000, right? I think it's worth 3,000. I paid 4,000. PSA 5. We're talking about a PSA 5. In this card's case, it was a BGS 5. The reason I'm bringing up a first edition Charizard is because that is a big index for the entire market. In my opinion, it's not the rarest card in the world. First edition Charizard is not the rarest card in the world. It's just a highly sought after card. It's one of the pinnacle of the collecting realm cards to have. And I think it's a good indicator of where the market's going to go, right? Like, if that Charizard did sell for 3,000 or 3,300, I think it was, and then 250 shipping, probably insured. If that card sold for a net $3,500, right? Shipping and the cost included. Every buyer is going to take the cost of a card and shipping included. So the buyers definitely that were bidding on this card that I was watching, and intending to bid on, but they had a reserve so high that I just didn't feel like it was worth it even bidding it on. what I'm saying is, if that card had sold for 3,500, I would without a doubt be like, yeah, I don't think that was just an outlier. I think cards are about to be going down in value. Because if the Charizard that I bought just a week ago in the market considered this is worth $4,000, $4,100, $4,200, and then the next week the exact same grade card from BGS, mind you, with subgrades, that card sells for $700, $500 less. I think that's a big indicator that the market is headed south. I have not seen that indicator. All I'm seeing is cards and high grades being sold for record numbers. That's all that I'm personally seeing. I'm looking at Crown Zenith singles every day. I'm looking at all these singles. I bid on a Pikachu yesterday and lost it again for like the 5th time. It's not easy to get these cards. And anybody that got into the hobby during Sword and Shield got a really good first look into what Pokemon is and what it can be. There was a huge craze with Sword and Shield, products selling out everywhere pretty much. And I think that for anybody coming into the hobby now with Crown Zenith, like if you decided you wanted to go to the hobby shop when Crown Zenith released and said, this is the set that I'm getting into Pokemon, wow, you got a really strong start into the hobby, and you started with a set that's absolutely phenomenal. Has the legendary dogs in it. What a fantastic way to get back into collecting. So I think anybody who came in for Crown and Zenith got absolutely hooked. I feel like they got absolutely hooked. Again, there's so much speculation, I feel like, because Scarlet and Violet still hasn't come out yet. And we're waiting for those higher MSRP. And while people might be getting boxes pre-order at $105, whatever, we're still seeing the masses are going to brace for this $160 retail price from Pokemon.com. That's probably where I'm going to get mine from. Even if I have to only get one, I just trust buying from that site. People have sent me links for other websites that sell Scarlet and Violet pre-order. That might be something that I can look into. But right now, we're all just waiting, right? And the modern market shouldn't necessarily affect the vintage market. What I'm saying is, I don't see vintage card prices falling. Whenever I put in a bid for anything vintage, there's always somebody else bidding against me. I think both modern and vintage are very competitive, and the sky's the limit for both of them. It's easier said than done. It's easy for me to be have a biased perspective and say, I heavily invested in Pokemon the past, 2-3 years. And so I find this to be a stable growth investment. Very easy for me to say that, and be on the bias end of the argument that Pokemon is a worthwhile investment. But I've had great sales in Pokemon. I continue to have sales with Pokemon stuff. I specialize kind of in vintage stuff. I just don't really see it going anywhere. Ever since I diversified from investing solely into the stock market and continuously seeing it go down. I mean, this year, my position in QuantumScape has gone up a good bit, but I just decided, you know what? I'm going to diversify into something that I really, really enjoy. And that became Pokemon. And now everything else is just like, if it works out, it works out great. If the stock market works out, great. If we sell our home at some point and we sell it in a higher market, great. If the bar does better numbers this year than it did last year, fantastic. But at the end of the day, I have my Pokemon business, and it seems to be doing well, and the YouTube seems to be doing really well. And, thank you guys so much for supporting this channel. But I'm just super stoked to be, Team Pokemon for the long term. And anybody that's here that's seeing these videos that are talking about the market potentially going down, take full advantage of it. Anybody that's seen an opportunity like this, whether it's with stocks, whether it's with Pokemon, they take full advantage of it and they move on it. They act on it. While everybody is fearful, you need to be a shark. You need to smell the blood in the water, and you need to get after it. Right now, I think there's a little bit of blood in the water in the Pokemon market. As far as vintage stuff goes, I'm seeing some really cool deals go down for stuff. I think that the niche stuff, I like Pokemon theme decks, I'm seeing prices for those go down, and that doesn't matter to me. Even though I'm collecting them and selling them, I don't mind if they go down, because that'll give me time to accumulate and buy as many as possible. And down the road, one, I might have one of the biggest theme deck collections ever. Two, I will have all this product when Pokemon becomes a big fad again and resurfaces. I think it's dying out as a fad again. I think we're coming out of this Pokemon era that was super golden. Sword and Shield seemed like the golden era of Pokemon, and I think we're moving into a mellow area. I'm not saying Pokemon is going downhill. I'm just saying I think we're moving to a mellow area where niche type collectibles in the Pokemon world are going to be more affordable, and that's amazing for me and other collectors. We're excited. This market, these numbers are looking better. People are less competitive. I'm able to get stuff at the price that I was getting it for about 2-ish years ago. Because there's time this year where I was just like, y'all didn't see me. I mean, I did a lot of theme deck videos with my mail days, but I wasn't really getting the best deals on that stuff. Right now, I'm getting really, really good deals on that stuff. So I'm excited to be getting back into it. Granted, I'm watching the market every day. I'm constantly searching for stuff, but I'm really excited. Today, around 6 or 7 o'clock, somebody in Charlotte is coming by. They found me from Facebook. They're coming by to sell me their collection, potentially, or at least have me look at it. There is a Gold Star card in that collection. If you guys don't know what Gold Stars are like today's alternate arts. If you don't know what alternate arts are Pokemon cards that look slightly different than their typical drawing phase. It's a kind of alternate arts are the ability for artists to be able to come up with their own brilliant, unique ideas that will differentiate their artwork for their Pokemon cards from everybody else's. To give some insight to that, we've got this Lugia from Silver Tempest is a great example. So here you have a Lugia soaring over the water. Set my drink down here. You have a Lugia soaring over the water from Silver Tempest. This card is really absolutely phenomenal. If you're looking at the card, you can see there's a boater in here. He's riding his boat, and the Lugia is flying over him and looking above. This is really a different kind of artwork. You don't see a whole lot of artworks like this. If you guys know, you know, in Brilliant Stars, we had a similar artwork that was like that. And I think they did a great job where they show a different angle of Charizard kind of flying away and getting into battle with Venusaur. That was really, for me, that was the first alternate art that I was like, I'm hooked. I opened a ton of Brilliant Stars, booster packs and booster boxes. I didn't get anything really good, but that was that. And I'm trying to kind of give my impressions, give my experiences, and tell you guys what I think is going to happen. Do I think it's going to cool down and mellow out for modern cards? No, absolutely not. I don't think modern cards are going to cool down or mellow out in the slightest bit. If anything, where's my dang? Oh, I have it in here. I just noticed that I'm sorry, I'm super ADD. I noticed that my Pokemon Stadium was not where it usually is, up here with my other goodies. Just really like Stadium. Oh, and it's about to fall off. Okay, there we go. Pokemon Stadium is a fantastic game, and I kind of like showcasing it. Anyways, for me, a sector that I will probably be focusing on with this PokeMania continuing and kind of the market mellowing out a little bit, but I still think the PokeMania is there. You know, I still think it's there. I still think we're Pokemaniacs out here still. I certainly am. I'm really excited for the next era, but I'm also excited to have this time in between eras to get back to collecting vintage stuff that I really like, that I'm looking for. And one of those things is going to be Game Boy games. Man, and the Game Boy, the video game market is just, the video game market I think is falling really hard. I've been looking at some old Game Boy games more recently. I would really like to get my hands on Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald cased and graded. That would be really, really cool. Not even cased and graded. Honestly, if I could just get those games in the original boxing with the original games, with the packaging, that would be probably enough. If I could just get those games, maybe Fire Red and Leaf Green 2, that would be sick. Yeah, those are things that I'll be looking forward to expand in my collection. You know, theme decks, booster boxes, maybe even old packs will get a little bit more affordable. Who knows? I just think And again, even with this new era coming in, I think while everybody is focused on Scarlet and Violet, yes, you're going to have a chance to get Scarlet and Violet as it comes out, get it for the best prices, get the cards for the best conditions, but equally, everybody is going to be focused on Scarlet and Violet. What does that mean for the broad market? That means, in my opinion, and for vintage especially, that no one's going to be paying attention to the old stuff. People are going to be so focused on whatever is coming out, keeping up with the Joneses, that they're not going to be going after the old stuff. And for me, there are a couple Charizard cards that I still really want to go after that are older. You know, there's some Umbreon cards that I really want to go after that are older. Skyridge and Aquapolis Umbreon, I still need those. And I still have to complete my Skyridge set. I still have to complete my Aquapolis set. I still have to complete my Expedition set. I still have to complete all of those. And then I'll probably be kind of moving into these EX series sets. I thought I wasn't going to, but, you know, only time could tell. See if I can complete those older WotC era sets. This video went on way too long. Gosh dang it. We got a mail day video coming up. Hopefully I can upload this quickly. Anyways, peace out, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you found it informative. PokeMania, it's not over yet.